Welcome, collectors and heavy equipment enthusiasts. Thank you once again for joining me for another episode of Diecast Emporium. In today's review, we are going to be looking at another vintage NZG 1/50 scale Caterpillar model. This one in particular, I was able to pick up from a buddy of mine in the community. Many of you guys know him as Diecast Construction Page on Instagram, or Patrick. So huge thank you, huge shout out to him. Thank you, Patrick, for letting me get this off you and add it to my collection. So this is the 1/50 scale NZG Caterpillar CS-563C vibratory soil compactor. Now, there were a number of these released over the years in different configurations. The big giveaway as to which one this is right here in the CS. So CS stands for Compactor Smooth. If this was a P instead of an S, it would be Compactor Padfoot. So you can tell, obviously, that this one is the smooth drum. Now, they did these in open cab versions, or the ROPS versions, but they also did these in enclosed cabs, and they also did 583s, I should say. So 563s in both versions, and 583s in both versions. So there are quite a lot to choose from, quite a lot out there, but as time goes on, these are beginning to be pretty rare. And when they do pop up, they can tend to fetch a pretty hefty price tag, especially when you think of what these went for when they first came out back in the day. So that's some background information. Let's take a look at the box. You can see CAT CS-563C vibratory soil compactor. There's a nice picture of it. Same thing up here in multiple different languages. Same picture. Now, what you need to know on the bottom of this box is this is actually a Norscot launch edition with a serial number. This one is serial number 62, not to be confused with a Norscot model. Norscot was not the maker of this model. That is NZG. Norscot was the distributor. So, again, I know that can kind of get a little confusing. Made by NZG, distributed by Norscot. So, with that information out of the way, let's slide this out of the sleeve and take a look at it. As you can see, this was obviously well cared for, so thank you, Pat, because it not only has the NZG tag, but we also have some additional packing, protection. Once we remove that, we can take our model out of the styrofoam, and with that, you are ready to display it. Okay, just a quick recap. Maybe this is your first NZG cat model you are seeing on this channel. So this is the NZG tag that many of them came with. Always important to hang on to this. If you are interested, this is what the inside of it looks like. I'm aware that that's pretty blurry, but there's really not any important or relevant information. But again, always hang on to your NZG tag. Moving on now to the model. There it is in all of its glory. A very, very simplistic tooling and casting, but that's just fine with me because, for the most part, the 563 and the 583 are very simplistic machines. You can see that it is predominantly made of heavy die-cast metal. It is a pretty hefty model in itself. We'll start out underneath. You can see model number 401-2, 1/50 scale, made in Germany, NZG model. And if you look here, just above the rear axle, you can see made in 1995. Here is the serial number 0062, which coincides with the number on the box. So that's always, again, good to see. And then you can also see the tread pattern on the rubber tires at the back of the machine. All right, let's take a look at the decals. You can, again, very legibly make out the CS-563C and the CAT decal, along with the red line, which has stood the test of time pretty well. On the back, you have Caterpillar here, and on this side, you have CAT and CS-563C, again with the red line. The last decal of note is the CAT on the front part of the casing for your compactor drum. Once again, that looks excellent, as if it just came off the assembly line yesterday. Inside the operator station, not too much to write home about. You have an operator seat, a steering wheel, obviously some protection or grab railings, and a staircase to access the operator station. Obviously, the ROPS version of these machines will have your ROPS, or rollover protection structure, along with two facing lights, forward-facing lights that are part of the casting. If you really wanted to, I would not encourage this personally, just leave it stock, but if you wanted to, maybe you could take a silver Sharpie and bring those lights out a bit to give it some detail. The details inside the hubs of the wheels are good. You will see this a lot with these older NZG cat models. The yellow, the plastic yellow that's used for the hubs is considerably off from the cat yellow, that is the metal part of the casting, but that's okay. It looks fine. Taking a look at the metal compacting drum, you can see that it is painted in silver, and it is mounted to the casing by a single mounting point here, which goes along to the other side. All right, for functionality, it will roll quite nicely in either direction, forward or reverse. It is an articulated machine, so it steers by the articulation joint located here. Happy to report that it has an excellent range of articulation, and quite frankly, it has a better range of articulation than some of today's models, which is always a interesting point of contention for me when I do reviews. But there you go. Nevertheless, you can achieve an aggressive turning angle left or right. So that will wrap up this review of the 1:50 scale NZG Caterpillar CS-563C vibratory soil compactor, the open ROPS version, again with the CS version, obviously, so it's a compactor smooth version. A model that I have been after for a long time. I do own a 563 enclosed cab and a 583 enclosed cab with the pad foot version, but I am actively looking for either a 563 pad foot open ROPS or a 583 open ROPS pad foot. So those are two models that I am actively looking for. So if you have one or know where to find one for a reasonable price, please reach out to me either on Instagram or here on YouTube, and we can talk and hopefully work something out, because I would love to add the pad foot version or the sheep's foot version to go along with this version. Once again, I'll say it one last time. Thank you, Diecast Construction Page. Thank you, Pat, for making this deal happen. I love to have this model in the collection, so I really appreciate it. Until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. Take care, be well. I'll see you in the next review.